guys. Start recording. Oh no. Thing, whatever that file is might be super long. Jeez, I fell asleep for like an hour. Watched the. I recorded it, but I'll delete it. I didn't know. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome in. Thank you for subscribing. It's time for me to come in. I don't even know if I'm live, bro. Hey, Mega Dawn. I'm gonna do some reactions today so I can make some of my regular content. Where's my button that oh, here's my close up. Nobody wants to see me close up. Hi, Hector. Well, I'm gonna start recording. I don't know. Nobody even watches me anymore. I only made like $1 last month, and everybody who steals my materials, like doubling me, so it's kind of weird, but it's all right. None of you care. It's okay. Come on, let's go. Let's get started. I'm going to start recording now. Hello! Thank you for coming in and subscribing. I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for coming in and subscribing. Ah! All right, let's go. Let's switch it. Let's switch this. Capture replay. What the hell? The stream. What the heck is this? What's this? I don't know. I don't know what I did. I ruined the stream, guys. I ruined the stream. Hey, how are you guys? How are you? Okay. We're gonna watch some animated horror and see how good it is. I don't know. I don't even know how to do this. This is like my third stream ever. What's up, Den Fan? How are you? I'm right here. There I am. Perfect. 3 true horror stories by IMR Scary Tales. I like theirs, so let's play.
Night shift at Dunkin' Donuts. The place transformed after midnight.
Story 1.
I always loved the quiet of the night shift at Dunkin' Donuts. The place transformed after midnight, the usual hustle and bustle giving way to a serene calm. At 42, I appreciated these peaceful hours. It gave me time to think, to unwind. So when weird customers dropped unannounced amidst my break, I used to get really pissed. And this one time, I got really pissed, which kind of backfired on me. I was about to close the place when the bell above the door jingled. I looked up to see a gaunt, disheveled man enter. His clothes hung loosely on his thin frame, and his eyes darted around the shop with a nervous energy.
Yeah, that guy.
He approached the counter.
Look at this guy. Don't serve this guy. Don't give him money for free. He's not using it to eat Dunkin' Donuts. Definitely. He has eaten Dunkin' Donuts. Look at his teeth. But this guy's tweaking. Very, very much so.
Counter, his lips twitching into an uneasy smile. From that very moment, I got creeps. Welcome to Dunkin' Donuts. What do you want? I was so tired that I didn't even try to sound nice. The man...
he's pissed off he even showed up. I feel like that sometimes at work.
Sound nice.
Oh,
the man stared at me blankly for a minute straight ahead.
I gotta close down in like 5 minutes, bro, and now we got like a crackhead coming in. Alright, well, let's see how it tweaks.
Then asked, what should I have? It sounded so...
A donut?
Idiotic that I lost it. Decide for yourself? I'm not your dad. I answered rudely. His left twitched with that reply, and then finally he asked for a coffee and a plain donut.
There you go. Easy. Easy. There's not much at Dunkin' Donuts, just like a coffee and donuts.
As I prepared the order, I could feel his eyes boring into my back. It was unsettling, but I brushed it off, attributing it to the late hour and the stranger's odd demeanor. I placed the coffee and donut on the counter. Here you go, I said, offering a nod. He grabbed the items without a word and shuffled towards the seating area. As I turned back to the counter, I heard a noise behind me, a strange shuffling sound. I spun around and my heart nearly stopped. The man was on all fours, sitting like a dog with a maniac grin plastered across his face.
Well, did he pay for it? Like, he can do whatever he wants with them once he paid for it. Do you think this guy paid for that donut? I don't know.
I didn't kill
I hope he took the cash up front.
him. The man wailed, his voice echoing through the empty shop. I didn't. My blood ran cold as the man produced a knife from his coat pocket, waving it erratically. I scrambled to the back of the shop, my mind racing. The man began to crawl, dragging himself forward with a terrifying determination. I bolted out the back door, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I glanced over my shoulder and saw the man still crawling, the knife glinting in the dim light. I ran to my car, fumbling for my keys. I managed to get inside and lock the doors just as he reached the vehicle. He slammed his head against the car's windows, the knife clunking against the glass. I didn't kill him! He screamed, his eyes wild with desperation. My hands shook as I tried to start the car, but it wouldn't turn over. The fuel gauge read empty, just my right.
Definitely works at Dunkin' Donuts. His gas is dead. Okay, well, you know, he hasn't gotten in yet, so call the police.
On luck. Panic surged through me. I reached for my phone and dialed 911, my fingers trembling. There's a man.
Yeah, you know when you work for those places, they ask you to call the manager, but like you're like, nah, I ain't ever calling the manager. You're gonna like, I'm gonna call 911 and then the manager. Maybe not even call the manager until like a month later.
With a knife, trying to kill me. I gasped. I'm at Dunkin' Donuts, 324 Main Street. Please hurry. I dropped the phone and slumped back into my seat, watching in horror as the man continued to assault the car. The knife scratched the glass, the sound grating on my nerves. I didn't kill him. The man kept repeating, his voice growing more frantic. My vision blurred, and the world started to spin. The last thing I saw before I blacked out was his crazed eyes staring into mine. When I returned to my senses, I was surrounded by a flashing lights of police cars. Officers were milling around, and paramedics were checking my vitals. I sat up, my head pounding.
You didn't call animal control, bro? You should have called animal control. The police don't need to be here. This is a waste of their time.
Looking around. The creepy man was in handcuffs, being led away by two officers. He was still muttering, I didn't kill him.
Hey, you know, after this, he's probably gonna get fired. Oh, you left your job post unattended. Sorry. We're gonna have to ask you to leave.
Detective approached me. Are you okay? He asked, with concern in his voice.
Found the Dogman killer.
I nodded, still trying to process what had happened. What's wrong with him? Who is he? I managed to ask. His name is Andrew Smith. He has a history of severe mental illness. We did some digging and found out he had a traumatic past. I listened as the detective recounted Andrew's story. When Andrew was 10, he had a younger brother.
I knew a guy named Andrew. Oh, no, his name was Andrew something else. But Andrew Smith, he's a bad guy.
Who was just 2 years old. One day, Andrew took his brother out to play, and a car hit the little boy, killing him instantly. The accident left Andrew shattered. His father blamed him for the tragic accident hit the little boy, and he had a younger brother who was just 2 years old. One day, Andrew took his brother out to play, and a car hit the little boy, killing him instantly. The accident left Andrew shattered. His father blamed him for the tragedy, subjecting him to years of...
He's drunk and abusive. Yep. This sounds like a tragic dog story.
Abuse and neglect before abandoning him altogether. Since then, Andrew had been in and out of psychiatric facilities, haunted by the memory of his brother's death. He's reliving the trauma. The detective explained. He didn't kill his...
Look at the lips on this guy. Look at this pause. Look at this pause action right here. Daddy?
Brother, but in his mind, he's been trying to atone for it ever since. Tonight, he snapped. I shuddered, the horror of the night settling over me. I glanced over at Andrew, sitting in the back of a police car, rocking back and forth. Will he get help? I asked, my voice barely a whisper.
He's falling in love right now, you know? Oh, this is a tragic story.
The detective nodded. We'll make sure he does. He's not evil, just broken.
I think you need
As
to,
the paramedics helped me to my feet, I couldn't stop but feel bad for Andrew. The daunting realization that me being rude to Andrew by mentioning his dad must have triggered his old traumas, hence he reacted the way he did. I hope Andrew's getting the help he needs. The night shift at Dunkin' Donuts would never feel the same, but I request everyone watching this, please be nice to strangers, because you might not know what storms that person's fighting inside.
No, he had a knife, bro.
Moving into a new house is always a bit unsettling, but our new place was next to an abandoned Dunkin' Donuts, which had burned down almost a decade ago, which was infamous for being haunted. Adding an
tales, like, these are three true stories, but they're all Dunkin' Donuts. Don't go to Dunkin' Donuts, anybody. This will happen to you.
Extra layer of eeriness. My wife, Lisa, and I had just settled into our routine when...
Wait, are they lesbians? Oh, okay. Not like the guy's talking. Okay. I thought they were like...
Suddenly, one morning, I found a box of donuts placed before my door.
Oh.
It had...
Haunted donuts? How come ghosts never leave me anything cool?
No label nor any mention of the sender. I found it weird. Lisa had a watery mouth when I brought it in, but I have a strict policy of not accepting food from strangers, so I threw it in the bin, despite...
Come on. Come on, bro. A policy of not accepting food from strangers? Come on, look at that donut. Look at that Simpsons donut right there. Eat it. I'd eat it. I'd eat it.
Her protest. Then it became a ritual.
Oh.
Every morning, a fresh box of a dozen donuts would be sitting on our doorstep. At first, I thought it was a friendly gesture from the neighbors, but when I brought it up, they simply had no idea. I kept throwing the boxes away, but the donuts kept arriving. Growing frustrated, I even installed a camera to catch the culprit, but the footage showed nothing. One moment the porch was empty, the next, a box of donuts appeared as if by magic. Lisa, we need to find out who's doing this. It's starting to get weird. Lisa just laughed. She loved donuts, and to her, it seemed like a harmless mystery.
Maybe whoever is being benevolent will stop once we actually eat it.
No food from strangers. These pranksters will mix in laxatives to get reaction. Pranks on...
Wait, what accent was that? Like, where's her phone from? See, this makes me look like I destroyed my computer, guys.
Culprit, but the footage showed nothing. One moment the porch was empty, the next, a box of donuts appeared as if by magic. Lisa, we need to find out who's doing this. It's starting to get weird. Lisa just laughed. She loved donuts, and to her, it seemed like a harmless mystery.
Maybe whoever is being benevolent will stop once we actually eat it.
Whoever's being benevolent will actually stop. She sounds like a bad guy from a James Bond movie.
No food from strangers. These pranksters will mix in laxatives to get reaction. Pranks on YouTube.
Yeah, this guy should get some laxatives.
I don't trust them.
He's got
but then, one morning, as I entered the kitchen, I caught her sneaking a donut from the box. She smiled, powdered sugar on her lips.
Yeah, that's powdered sugar, all right. Hey, thank you for the likes, guys. Keep them up. Keep them coming.
Relax, John. They're just donuts.
They're not.
That was the night things took a turn.
They're haunted. That's an abandoned... They were in an abandoned, like, Dunkin's. Maybe the next Dunkin's, like, 5 miles away. That would be weird.
Turn for the worse. I woke up to the sound of knocking on the windows.
She's gonna be crawling up the wall. Donuts! Donuts! Donuts!
At first, I thought it was just the wind, but the knocking was rhythmic. 3 knocks, a pause, then 2 knocks. I got up to check, but found nothing. As I lay back down, I heard footsteps in the hallway, followed by a soft, eerie bell sound. It sounded like those bells you see at a hotel reception. Lisa, did you hear that? She mumbled in her sleep, turning away from me. I felt a chill run down my spine. Over the next few days, the disturbances became more frequent. The knocking, the footsteps, the bell. It was like we were living in a nightmare. Lisa started acting strange. She was distant, often staring blankly at the wall. One night, I found her in the kitchen, standing perfectly still,
But these are all
clutching
my
a
sounds.
knife.
There's a lot of
Lisa,
bigger
what are you
graders
doing?
that use
And out of nowhere, the same
glad you
bell
got
sound
40,000.
came. Suddenly, she turned to me, her eyes vacant,
Oh no!
then suddenly
No, she's tweaking. She's tweaking. Ah!
lunged. I barely managed to
Whatever
avoid the
you
blade,
do,
stumbling backwards.
If you
After
love
then,
donuts,
she ran at me like a
if you
madness
hate
had
donuts,
taken over her.
keep
She
scrolling.
chased me
But
through
if
the
you
house,
love
her
donuts,
movements jerky
like,
and unnatural,
comment, and
stopping,
share.
growling to herself, and then chasing again. But as soon as I
that?
reached the front door and threw it open, she
Oh, no!
stopped abruptly, her neck
Don't do it!
twisted, and just
Oh,
looking at the abandoned
gonna
Dunkin'
twist.
Donuts
Give it a
restaurant.
twist.
Lisa, what's happening to
Oh,
you?
no.
She didn't respond. Instead, she began walking slowly towards the burnt-out building. I followed her, keeping a safe distance. By this time, some people from the neighborhood started coming out of their houses. An old
The old Karen, the Karen and the old man. You know that she's this is in for a treat.
man approached me. I don't know if you know this, son, but something is wrong with that place. It burned down 10 years ago, killed 6 men. Lisa continued her slow march to the building, oblivious to
That's one of the 6 men. That doesn't look like
everything around her. She reached the entrance, which was nothing more than a charred frame, and walked inside, stepping over the rubble, heading straight for the old counter. I ran after her, yelling out her name. She stopped, bent down, and picked something up from the debris.
Throw it at a
Lisa,
rock.
please.
Throw a rock at her head.
She
Oh, is it
emerged with a
donut?
small, tarnished bell, the kind you find at a hotel lobby. She
He possessed somebody to get to work. Whoever this ghost is employee of the year.
placed it on the old counter, kept looking at it like stuck in a delusion, and then ring, ring, ring. I felt a deep, cold fear grip my heart. I called 911. By the time help arrived, Lisa was still standing there, ringing the bell, her face a blank mask. They had to sedate her to get her to the hospital.
Good.
Lisa was later admitted to a mental health facility. It's been 2 years now, and she hasn't opened her eyes since.
Wow.
I wish she hadn't eaten those donuts that day. I don't know how, but somehow that is what led to everything.
Possessed. Don't eat the possessed donuts.
I'd never seen anything quite like her. It was a Tuesday night,
It
a
looks
dead
like
shift
April
at Dunkin' Donuts, and
Hey,
I was
thought
stuck
this was
closing
Free
up.
Scary
My name
videos,
is
not
Melania,
Free Scary
and I had
Dunkin'
worked
videos.
at that place for 2 years. The hours were long, the pay was crap, but it was a job. That night, the usual routine of working like a zombie took a turn because of a strange woman. She sat in the corner booth
That seems a little racist. You better tread your words lightly.
alone.
Okay.
A strange-looking woman wrapped in a scarf, wearing sunglasses despite the late hour. It was nearly midnight, and she had been there for hours, ordering large Coke after large Coke, 11 in total. Who drinks that much
Coke will do that to you.
soda?
Keep
There
you
was a
up all night.
basket which she had placed on the table, covered completely with small holes to the
Is that a baby?
side.
You think
Something
that's a
about
baby?
her felt
You think that's a baby or an ugly little Chihuahua dog? I could go either way. She is a weird lady, so I don't know. Probably little
off
Chihuahua
as the
dog.
hours
Zombie
passed.
Chihuahua dog.
I approached her cautiously, my nerves
Hey,
on
I don't know about you, but this Dunkin' girl is pretty cute. I'd probably I'd hit.
edge.
Bro,
Ma'am, we're closing soon.
She looked up, her face hidden behind those dark glasses, and said,
I will be dead when the clock strikes 12. But first, I need to tell you 3 secrets. Are you okay?
yeah. Probably.
Do you need help?
She ignored my questions,
Nobody
instead
wants help.
continuing, her voice a flat monotone.
Tonight, I seduced and murdered a congressman.
My breath caught in my throat.
Is this
What are
like-
you talking
Is
about?
this like 2 lies and a truth? Like, I drank 3 Cokes, I murdered a congressman, and I cut off my left arm and stuck it in this basket. What are the 2 truths? And which one's a lie?
About?
She leaned in closer, her presence almost suffocating.
Congressman Harold Green.
Oh, That's her dad. It's a twist.
I approached him at the hotel bar, charmed him with lies and
I
promises.
don't like the way this one's.
He never suspected a thing.
What's this? What's she doing here? Kind of like animation. Is
We went up to his room, and while he poured us drinks,
Why would anybody take you up to their room and get their drinks poured? Maybe she's a burn victim.
I injected him with a poison derived from a plant native to my homeland.
What?
It was painless.
What's your homeland? Oh.
He didn't even see it coming.
I felt a chill run down my spine. She smiled, a cruel twist of her lips visible beneath the scarf.
I had to do it. He was too close, bringing in a policy which would upset the status quo between my people and yours. We couldn't allow that. Your people?
Yeah.
I echoed in disbelief. She removed her sunglasses, revealing eyes that were not human, large, black, and reflective.
As you can
What they
see,
use in the middle, like marbles?
I am not lying. My race has been cooperating with your government for decades.
Oh, they're aliens.
We share knowledge, technology,
Brains.
and get some things in return. But Green was going to do something.
Yeah, do it.
He had to be stopped.
Stop him.
I stepped back, my legs trembling.
This is insane. You're crazy.
She stood up, towering over me, and I realized just how small I was compared to her.
What is she?
Believe what you will, but know this. There are more like me,
I'm into
watching,
it. I'm into it.
waiting.
She looked at the clock on the wall, ticking towards midnight, then turned to me with those otherworldly eyes, and for the first time I saw something almost like regret.
The third secret.
She began, but a strange
Oh, no.
sound cut her
We're getting
off.
abducted.
A low, humming
no.
vibration that seemed to come
Oh,
from
no.
everywhere and nowhere.
Abducted.
She froze, her body stiffening like a statue. I reached out, my hand shaking, and
touch
touched
that.
her arm. She was cold, unresponsive. Then, without
Yeah.
warning, she turned and walked out of the diner, her movements almost
The heck is
robotic.
that?
I saw her get out and turn
Why
to the
would
empty alley behind the
first
diner,
contact with
but
Earth
suddenly
be at
a
a
bright
Dunkin'
flash
Donuts?
of light came out of nowhere and blinded me. I rushed out and
Why-
ran to the
why would
back of the alley, but she
follow-
was gone,
follow
vanished
her?
without a trace. I
Yeah.
returned to the
Oh, get
diner,
that.
my heart
What's in the
pounding.
basket?
Her basket was still there. I knew I shouldn't, but I had to look. Carefully, I approached it and lifted
No,
the
don't get
cover. Inside were strange, translucent eggs,
Eggs!
pulsing with an eerie glow.
This is what lack of sleep does.
Yeah, what is that? Look at her eyes shaking. She's tweaking.
I reminded myself, wondering if I was just
Lack of
tired
sleep.
and imagining things that weren't there.
Yeah,
Just
lack
then,
of sleep.
the TV mounted in the corner of the diner
Imagining
flickered to
things that aren't
life.
there.
A breaking news report cutting through the static. The anchor's voice was grim. Congressman Harold Green has been found dead in his hotel room. At the moment, it
was
appears that
probably
he suffered a
sleeping.
stroke while taking a bath. Authorities do not suspect any foul play.
Hotel rooms.
I left
was
the
having
basket,
foul play.
my
What-
hand
what's he
shaking
doing in a
uncontrollably.
hotel room?
This
Anyways,
couldn't be real.
Nothing good happens in hotel rooms.
It had to be some kind of sick joke, a nightmare. But the
I'm not
evidence
laughing.
was there, right in front of me. Those eggs,
Egg
the news
people.
report, her chilling confession. I went home that night, but
Is she gonna
sleep
raise
was
the egg?
impossible. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her face, those black, strange, soulless eyes staring into mine. I heard her voice, her final words echoing in my mind.
There are more like me, watching, waiting.
I bet you she's. Ah! Don't be doing jump scares, bro. Come on, not in the middle of. Okay, I love tacos. Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe and sub, or I'm gonna eat your tacos. Okay,
and ripped it open.
hold on.
When
I'm
I
gonna
got
take a break, so I'm gonna come back because nobody's watching anyways. So I'll be back. Where am I? Where the heck am